I guess, yeah, that makes a lot of sense, that you would have the opportunity then to, if people know how to network.
Right.
And one of your seminars that you've had in the past was how to network. I know the guy that gave that presentation.
I heard it was really good.
Yeah. So with that, knowing how to network, it does make a lot of sense that you could create your own sphere of business potentials and help out. So that makes a ton of sense that you would do that. Now let me also ask you from an expansion standpoint too. What if I'm and I just don't know the answer to this, what if I travel from different places? Do virtual offices share space?
Well, we have the New England Executive Office Centers, and there's 16 of us that are members, and there's Connecticut, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, and Maine that are involved, and we share with each other. So if I have a client, my space is in Westboro. If I have a client who needs a space in Beverly, I'll call up the space in Beverly and make an arrangement for them. So yes, there is opportunity to meet in different places, at least in New England.
And so with that type of setup, if somebody is buying a package, does the consortium of just say, thank you, does the consortium just say, oh, well, they have, it all comes out in the wash?
Yes, we just share and we all promote each other, and we figure that everybody's main goal is client services and making sure people are happy. And if you can provide somebody with an office in Nashua, New Hampshire for a day, it's just going to make your client that much happier. So yes, it's very reciprocal. We just help each other out that way as much as possible. And a lot of businesses are very mobile nowadays. People have clients all over New England, and so it's nice to be able to say, well, how would you like to meet at my office in Nashua? Right? It makes you, all of a sudden here you've become this multi-officed professional when really you're at home.
Right. Which would even work great, and we keep going back to attorneys, but here we are in Massachusetts. I know multiple attorneys that are licensed in multiple New England states because it's so close geographically. It's not like if you lived in Texas, why would you even bother unless you were on a border, right? I mean, why would you even bother? So that makes a lot of sense that, you would have that capability to travel from place to place. Now, what about, though, too, from a big company standpoint? Maybe somebody, does that ever happen? Maybe they don't have an office, or they don't have a facility in a location. Maybe they have salespeople. Do you have that type of situation where a big company says, we want to have some office space?
Yeah. We have a lot of corporate satellites who have permanent offices just for their salespeople, or for a kind of a landing place for all their, oftentimes it's sales reps in Massachusetts. And then we also have corporations who just use the conference room space because they have gone from 4,000 square feet of space to 2,000, and they eliminated their conference rooms because they only use them 8 hours a week rather than 40. So for a lot of businesses that are really trying to be as cost effective as possible, it doesn't make sense to have a conference room because you use it 8 hours a week max, maybe. So they've lessened the amount of space that they're paying for on a month-to-month basis, and then they outsource, if you will, if you can think about outsourcing space, outsource their conference room or seminar room or large training room space to off-site, which then would be a virtual kind of facility.
So all the CFOs out there should be considering the concepts of virtual offices, how they could utilize them to help put money on that bottom line, which is such an issue based on today's economy. But hey, even when the economy is great, why wouldn't you do that anyway, right?
Yeah, right, exactly.
So there's multifacets for that CFO that, listen, why are we paying for that large footprint for an office when, yes, it sits here a lot of the time unused. We might as well have a smaller footprint for our office, and then we can have our virtual offsite. Well, I hate not offsite, but
well, and it truly is offsite. I think I've done a lot of corporate training in the world, and I find When you do that, it's so much better to have your attendees off-site, because at the break, everybody's running back and checking their email. You don't have full attendance. And so I think if truly from a focus perspective, it's helpful to have meetings off-site, because your team is there and they're focused and they don't have the same kind of distractions that come up if their office is 2 doors down the hall.
Well, that's true. Yeah, if that's your place, you're just physically, now you're here for the seminar. Well, right. It's like, yeah, it is off-site, so that makes a lot of sense that you'll be locked in. Now, other things that maybe people don't think about too is if you're trying to make yourself look bigger. Mm-hmm. And so one of the things that I love about the concept of that virtual office is, so I have my space, and do you have a lot of the times, when you walk into a hotel and there'll be the board, or you mm-hmm. walk into a company, into their lobby, mm-hmm. and you've got the board that welcomes somebody there. Right. Do you do that type of...
The welcoming thing?
Yeah, have like a welcome board that says, welcome so-and-so that they're coming.
Yeah. Not really, because frankly, my feeling is for anyone who has a virtual office or any kind of office, I want their clients or their vendors or their potential financiers to think this is their space. So we don't have our business name anywhere. We have an electronic roster down where every client, virtual or full-time's name is there. They walk in, we'll hear our clients go, wow, I didn't know he had such a huge office. We have a large reception area, a big, beautiful wood reception desk, 2 client service administrators. And so people walk in and the first impression is, wow, I didn't realize he was so successful. I didn't realize her company was so big. And they think when they're walking in, this is our client's company. And we don't say anything to the contrary unless they specifically ask.
Right.
So it's this big first impression that people have where, wow, I didn't realize he was so successful. And then it's automatically, wow, if so many other people are using this business or this guy, this attorney, this sales trainer, he must be good.
So it's the perception then?
Absolutely, it's the perception. It's that first impression that then either favorably or negatively colors the whole rest of the interaction with your potential client. So we have had so many people comment on how having that space has just made such a huge difference in their business and how their clients see them, and being able to attract new clients because of this impression of success and polish and corporate professionalism that I think people look for. It instills trust in a client to see that who you're thinking about hiring is successful. If you're meeting them around their dining room table, it just doesn't cut it.
Good point, right? Yeah, meeting around the dining room table just seems a little bit less than, right?
Right.
And perception does play a huge role when we're talking about closing a sale.
Yeah.
That is the bottom line on that.
Yeah.
So the reality is we've got a situation for virtual offices. No matter what the size of your company, there is probably a benefit for you. Large companies can cut down their footprints. They can have the off-site space to kind of corral people and keep them motivated at the moment for whatever the training or something like that was taking place. The small business owner has the opportunity to look much larger than they actually are, have the resources of everybody around them, and not only that, but the resources of the virtual office to help them to grow their business. Would you say that pretty much encapsulates?
I think you summed it up perfectly. I like that. Yeah, that's exactly. You absolutely hit it on the head. I think it's valuable to whatever size of the company, because everybody wants to pay for what they use, and that's what it's about, really, is not paying for more than you need, and in the end, having a fabulous environment in which to do your work.
Awesome. Well, I want to thank you very much, Lisa, for being on the show.
Thanks.
And I'd like to thank you for watching. I'd like to thank my guest, Lisa Kirby-Gibbs from Highland March Office Business Center. Yeah, we're calling it a center now. I'm your host, Jason Callio. Remember, a verb is an action, and knowledge not applied is useless. So what action are you going to take now? It is a choice. Stay tuned for the forum, where we are going to have an open discussion about how to make your business look larger than it actually is. Thanks for watching.